Hello everybody, my name is NCX and today I'm going to be giving you guys another episode of my breakdown series. Today I'm going to be handling a topic that some people are going to find controversial for me, and I will probably get a lot of hate for this video, but I'm ready for it, so let's get right into it. So the topic that I want to talk about is Scumpy. Optic Scumpy in his career. Now, if you're reading the title, it will say, if Scumpy retires after this year, where does he rank? Now, what I mean by this is there have been rumors, talks that Scumpy is going to retire after this year. More than likely, if they don't do good at champs. So let's say he doesn't do good at champs, he will then retire. Let's say it does happen. I wanna discuss where I think Scumpy will be and why. Now, you're probably most of the people that are probably watching this put Scumpy in top 3, top 2, or top 1. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. It's my opinion. If you hate my opinion, don't watch the video. It's that simple. I understand, I appreciate your opinion, and whatever you comment down below, call me a Scumpy hater, or Optic hater, or whatever, I don't care. I love Optic as an org. I may not like the fans, but I like them as an org. I respect the players. I respect Scumpy. But I don't think he's number 1. Let's get that out of the way. So let me tell you my top 10 first. And people are going to overreact to this, but let's just get into my top 10. So number 10, I have Formal. That might be a little controversial in itself, but again, deal with it. It's my list. Tell me your list down below. Number 9 is TP. Number 8 is Clayster. Number 7 is Aches. Number 6 is Rambo. Number 5 is Big T. Number 4 is Scumpy. He's 4, guys. It's fine. It's fine that he's not number 1. He's 4. Number 3 is JCap. Number 2 is Crim6. And number 1 is Karma. Now, in my personal opinion, my top 3 will stay my top 3 forever because I've seen them throughout their careers, what they did, what they can do, what they mean to a team, and all of them have taken on the Slayer role of the star player and the bitch role of the supportive player in the back. Now, I'm not saying to be the best player of all time you have to have that, but those qualities and what they bring to a team is unmatchable. If I'm forming a Call of Duty team, I am picking one of those 3 for my first overall pick, no matter what. I'm saying that right now. So my top 3 won't change. Probably ever. But let's look at Scumpy now. Scumpy, number 4. That's really good. Let's be real. Don't call me a hater. Don't call me a fanboy of other team or something like that. Top 4 that means out of every Call of Duty player who's ever played the game, which is millions, he is number 4 of all time. That's amazing. And I hope you can understand why I put him at 4 and not 3, 2, or 1. But I'm going to go into it. Let's talk about real quick why he's not 3, 2, or 1. So as I mentioned, Karma, Cram, and JCap have all been the star at one point in their career and the guy that usually is called the worst on the team or a coster. But a lot of those kids that say that don't realize they're probably the most important player on their team. What people don't understand is Call of Duty isn't about dropping numbers. It is, but let's be real, it's not. If that's the case, why isn't Gunless, Slasher, Kenny, and, I don't know, Scraps teaming? Why aren't they teaming? Obviously, reasons are contracts, everything. But let's be real, COD isn't at that point right now where contracts but contracts are, impeccable from not doing. So, why aren't they teaming? It's because that team wouldn't work. A team with Kenny, Gunless, Slasher, and Scraps just simply wouldn't work. And most people understand that, but at the same time they don't. Because that roster, and obviously Gunless and Slasher would work, because it's already working. But now it's got Scraps and Kenny. They're literally the same player, essentially. So, you may think, oh, they're patiently right, but at the same time, there has to be a sub that isn't getting the kills. Both of them get the kills. You don't want that. Actually, let's replace Slasher with Octane then. now it wouldn't work. Slasher, Octane, and then Scraps Kenny. Arguably top 5, top 6, 7 Slayers in the game right there. And team wouldn't work. It would simply not work. And that's because Call of Duty is about the little things as well. It's about who is baiting for me, who is getting my information, who is doing the OBJ things, who is risking their life for certain plays, who is letting me get my, not letting me, but who is helping me push through a building, who is doing this, that, and the third, who is picking up the lanes that won't get the most kills. And actually, I'm starting to lose my train of thought, but I remembered. I'm talking about, it's not all about slaying. It's not all about slaying. Just little things, like I said. So, again, I believe I came into this topic talking about why Scumpy isn't 2, 3, 2, or 1. And that's because I don't think Scumpy's ever been in that position. I think Scumpy has always been the star of his team. He's always been a star. He's always been the star of his team in the lead Slayer. And don't get me wrong, Scumpy is he is the most skillful, talented, reaction time gun skill player of all time. But what else can he do? Now, this sounds very, rude and very ignorant, arrogant. But what else can he do? All those players are leaders. All those players can lead a team. All those players can do what they need to do for the team. They can motivate them. They can hype them up. What can Scumpy do? Obviously, Scumpy can hype them. But can Scumpy lead a team? Can Scumpy get a group of players and lead them to a championship? Clearly not. Clearly not. Scumpy, I think, is hindered in his career because of how he plays as well. Scumpy is a player that he is very, very high skilled, but I wouldn't say not willing, but would rather not do the bitch work, the side work, the work that want to get you the most kills. So, Hex and the Optic Management has formed teams around him that make him easily the best player, but also put great players to shame. Why do you think they picked up Krim and Karma? When that team formed, obviously everyone was thinking, oh, that's such a Slayer-heavy team. It really isn't. It is, but it isn't. Because Krim and Karma won't have the opportunity, or did not have the opportunity like they did. Obviously, Karma, people consider him a shit player now. I promise you, in BO4, he won't be a shit player. He'll be a top player. Because he's going to be the main player on that team. So you have to remember, you have to think also, Scump has been playing with, the player that he's been playing with players that allow him to kill. Now, I'm not saying this hinders him, but I just wanted to finish the topic of why I think JCap, Krim, and Karma are above him in my ranking, and because they have proven that they can be at the top without having that Slayer role. And they still have impeccable skill, and what they do to teams is something I don't think Scump can do. I don't think Scump could lead a team of players to a world championship, personally. So now that we're done with that, let's talk about why Scump is 4 in the good way. So, Scump, I want to tell you his tournament winnings. The amount of tournaments he's gotten first place at. He is currently 2nd in Call of Duty history with 26. Scump has 2 interesting stats. Besides World War II, he's won a tournament every time. From BO1 on. In every Call of Duty, he's been in a grand final. Every Call of Duty, he's been in a grand final. Now, this stat is partially why he's number 4. He may not be the backbone of the team, like the people that do the little things, but damn does he have the pressure on him. The pressure to then slay out. Because obviously, it's not it's easy for him. It's not just because he's teaming with Krim or Karma or Nade Shot or Clay or Proofy or whatever, that he can do these things easily. he still has to slay. He still has to get these kills. He still has to perform. It's not like, oh, I'm teaming with Rambo and Big T, I'm instantly the best player in the game. No, he still has to perform. And this is why he is top 4 for me. Because he didn't crack under the pressure of being put with these players. Like every time he has been formed with a team to help him, he never cracked under the pressure like, oh, what did I fuck up, dude? Literally, we're fucked. I can't mess up for the team. He didn't crack under that pressure. Ever. And that shows by his placings. He let his team do the little things, and sometimes, with formal, they slayed, and they got to grand finals. They won tournaments. And they got to that, that overarching number 1 place in the league. He proved that he is a slayer and a pure slayer. As long as he has people to help him, he will make this work. He won't crack under the pressure, except for a few things, which, if you look at history, another reason why he's not 3, 2, or 1, if you look at the history, there's a lot of elimination games where they lose, and Scumpy has terrible statistics. AW, Phase Red versus Optic, to get 7th or 8th, or 7th, 8th. Scumpy goes double neg, I believe, in the uplink. He goes even in the SND, and I think he does subpar in the CTF, I do believe. So, not good numbers considering you are the best player in the world and on your team. And then BO3 comes along. You've obviously seen the BO3 Game 5, Game 4, Game 3, Game 2, Game 1 of Cloud9 and Optic. And we've all seen that moment in the Game 5 where he stops shooting. There are moments where you see when Scump doesn't perform, it's over for his team because they rely on him so much. But back to the good things about Scump. Again, if he is the most dominant, and if he plays like he is with his team doing what they need to do, he's unstoppable. He is the scariest force we have ever seen in Call of Duty. And I said, if I'm making a team, I'm taking either JCap, Crim, or Karma. My second pick will be Scump. It will be Scump because I'm taking JCap, Crim, or Karma, JCap, Crim, or Karma, and then if Scumpy's still there, I'm taking Scump because all of those players can let Scump do what he needs, and they'll be fine with it. So Scump, if I ever make a team, all-time team, Scump will probably be my second pick, definitely. So Scump, his skill is impeccable. He's the most skilled player of all time, and he never cracked under pressure being put as the star. So that's why I have him at 4. That's a good thing about him. He is very, very talented, and he proves it countless amounts of times. Most talented player of all time. Now, let's get into the juicy part. If he retires, where does he stand? Let's say he gets 7. Let's say, I'm going to be funny. Let's say they get 12th. 12th, 11th, or whatever it'd be. 12th, 11th at Champs. Where do I rank him? Where do I rank him? He retires. Where do I rank him? Well, I have him at 4. And if you look at my top 10, I have Rambo, or I have Big T, Rambo, Aches, Clay, and TP after Scump, and then form 10. So, you're probably saying, well, none of those guys are going to be able to surpass Scump unless Aches or Clay win Champs. You're right. But you're forgetting something that still I think a lot of people forget about, and that's Champs placings and performances. I mentioned it very briefly. But let's think. If this year Scump has not been himself, he is not a top 5 player in the game. He is not even top 10 player in the game, except for maybe 2 events. Be real, Scump is not a good. He's not that he's a bad player in this game. But he is no IW Scump. He's no BO3 Scump. He's definitely not a Ghost Scump. Not nearly. There are players that surpass him tenfold in this game, and it's facts. Don't be delusional. So, if he loses this Champs, he went a whole year of just being subpar in the pro scene. That's gonna hurt your career when you are the factor of the team. Think about it. You're probably saying, well, JCap, Carb, they're not the factor of the team, are they? They are the backbone. They hold the team up. They build the team. They are the behind the scenes of the team. Scump is at the forefront. He is Optic. He is Optic Gaming, and he is Call of Duty. He had a subpar year, and then not even subpar. He goes to one grand final and loses it in the most embarrassing way I think we've ever seen. So boom, that hurts his legacy, I think. I think that hurts his legacy. Because again, you are Optic. You are that guy. Like I said before, Scump is the guy. People build around him. They build to make sure he can do his thing. So, once again, Once again, Scump, this is his last chance to win. Like, if he doesn't win champs, I'll never put him, I probably won't put him top 5. I know that's harsh. He might be 5th, but he won't be 4. He won't be 4 because you've been to BO2 champs, Ghost champs, AW champs, BO3 champs, IW champs, which you won, and then now World War II champs. The best player in the world should not have gone to one grand final of the biggest event in the year. Be real. Be real. Even LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, players who aren't the best but are very close, have been to the the NBA Finals more than once. And granted, they've lost, but Scump is 1-0, whatever. But they've been to it more than once. They've shown that they are not the best of all time, but they show that they are dominant and they deserve to be in the grand final. Obviously, you could say whatever about excuses of why he wasn't in the grand finals, whatever. Oh, he got top 3 twice. Oh, he also got 7th, 8th twice as well. So I'm taking that into factor too, because it's true. I mean, you can't be a top 4 player of all time, but be to the grand finals of the biggest event every year once. I know it's Call of Duty. I know we haven't been around as long as the NBA, but even LeBron, he has been to what? 2007, 2011, 2012, 2013. Like, what's his record in the NBA Finals? Like 3-4. He's won 3. Lost 2014, lost. He's been, he's lost like 5-6 times, won 3. Okay, but that's 9 years. So let's look at BO2. BO2, that's 1. Ghost, it's 2. AW 3, BO 3, 4. IW 5. World War II is now 6. Take back about 2. If you take away 2 championships from LeBron, that's 3 and 4 still. He still has been to the NBA Finals 7 times. Well, yes, 7 times. While Scump is into it once in the same. I know I'm comparing basketball and it's very stupid, but at the same time you have to realize this is what we have to compare it to. We have to compare it to something like this. Now, obviously, esports, again, it's way different, but even in other esports, Adapting and Smite has been to 3 grand finals of Smite World Championship. I think he's won it 3 times as well. There's a player in Rocket League that's been to the World Finals 3 times, I do believe. He's won it twice. CS, many CS pros have been to major grand finals more than once and have won it. League, look at Faker, Dota, Dendy even, I think did amazing. Halo, Ogre 2. There, I just compared it to other esports. Top players of all time have been to the biggest event grand finals more than once. Scumpy needs to do that, or I think it will hurt his career. I'm running low on my recording footage here, so I'm going to try and wrap this up. So, that's why I think if he doesn't do good here, this will hurt his career. So let me get into where I think he'll place. And then one other last thing. I think if Scumpy retires after this champs and does not place within the top 4 at least, I'm going to put him at 6. I think I'm going to move him to 6, and I'm going to move him to 5. I'm going to put... This is hard. This is actually hard for me to think. But, okay. I'm being dead serious. I think I'm moving him to 7. No, I thought about it before, but now I'm overthinking it. You know what? Final thought. He's going to be 6 on my list. I'm not telling you who I am moving, but in my top 10 of all time, I'm putting Scump at 6. I'm not telling you who I moved. Now let me get into something else I want to touch on. How long will he stay at 6? Because let me go to my top 10, or my top 25. I'm going to go to my top 25 list real quick. And I say this, but well, he'll never be surpassed. I want you to think about this. I'm not going to talk about this real much in the video because the video is going to end shortly, but I want you to think about this after you're watching the video. I'm going to name a few players that, if Scump retires, will still be playing Call of Duty, and I want you to tell me if they have a chance to beat him. I want you to think about this when you're done watching the video. There is Aches, there's Clay, there's Formal, there is John, there is Apathy, there is Attach, there is Zuma, there is Saints, there is Parasite, and there is now EU, not EU. There is try to get the word out. Now players like Kenny. Obviously not near top 10, but I want you to focus on a few names I want you to focus on a few names right now. Focus on Clay, focus on Aches, focus on Formal, focus on John. John, Formal, Clay, Aches. And one final one, Slasher. Slasher, Formal, Clay, Aches, and John. So, I want to end this video with saying those names again. Slasher, Formal, Aches, Clay, John, and I want you to think about, after you're done watching this video, and think, if you move Scump in your top 10, top 5 of all time, will he be temporary, considering he will be retired? And again, if you really think about it, has only one world championship, has been to only one world championship, but then also think he is the most talented player of all time, most skilled player of all time, one of the most impactful players of all time, and has the second most championships of all time. I try to be very non-biased in this. I want to end it with, again, I have Scump in my top 4 at the beginning, but if he places bad champs and retires, I have him number 6, possibly temporary. So this will be the end of my video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give your feedback in the description or the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next chapter.